These are two hypothetical examples of early years educators undertaking the experience-based route. So Olivia has worked in a private nursery for 1 year. She has a DFE approved early years practitioner level 2 qualification and has been working in the staff child ratios at level 2. She's interested in the EBR and talks to her manager about starting the process. Her manager does an initial assessment and she meets 62% of the level 3 criteria. She starts the supervised practice period to gain experience against the missing criteria. And after 6 months, Olivia has completed 900 hours of supervised practice. She decides with her manager to take the final assessment, and she is assessed as meeting 95% of the criteria and so can't be granted EBR status. She continues the supervised practice period for a further 2 weeks to meet the remaining 5%. Her manager then reassesses her. This time Olivia meets 100% of the criteria and gains EBR status to be included in the ratios at level 3. And then we have Mark, who has worked in a nursery in a maintained school for 2 years. He has a degree in early years that is not approved by the DFE and has been working as an unqualified member of staff. He wants to go through EBR. His manager agrees and carries out an assessment. And in that initial assessment, Mark meets 74% of the criteria. He starts the supervised practice period to meet the remaining criteria and completes 850 hours of supervised practice. When they go to assessment, Mark meets 100% of the criteria and is granted EBR status to work in the ratios at level 3 at his provider. Later on, Mark gets a new job with a different early years provider. When he moves employer, he shares evidence of his EBR status at the nursery he was assessed in. His new manager assesses him again after he has worked there for a month. He meets 100% of the criteria and is granted EBR status to work at level 3 in his new job. So, as I said, EBR is now available, meaning that providers can start identifying eligible staff, carrying out initial assessments and beginning periods of supervised practice. However, it's important to re-emphasize that staff holding EBR status will not be able to count in the level 3 ratios until the DFE makes the required changes to the EYFS. We expect this to take place in September of this year. So anyone starting their EBR today and taking the minimum amount of time to complete it will gain EBR status once those changes have been made. And as we mentioned in our consultation response, we've now started working with awarding organisations to discuss options for assessment-only qualifications. EBR doesn't grant a qualification, and we see assessment-only qualifications as a way for EBR status holders to become fully qualified through external assessment. So this is something to look out for in the future. I've added some useful links to this slide, including a link to the consultation response, to the non-statutory guidance on EBR on gov.uk, to our contact DFE form, and also to the new Check and Early Years qualification digital service.